What if I told you that black families planning road trips in the 1940s had to carry a special guidebook just to know where they could safely eat, sleep, or even use the restroom? What if I told you that this guidebook was created by a Harlem postal worker named Victor Hugo Green, who turned his knowledge of neighborhoods into a survival tool for millions? And what if I told you that the Green Book wasn't just a travel guide? It was an act of resistance against a segregated America that wanted to keep black people from moving freely. Today, we're examining Victor Hugo Green and the creation of the Green Book, a lifeline in Jim Crow America. Before I show you who Victor Hugo Green was, the dangers that black travelers faced, and how the Green Book became a community-driven solution to systemic racism, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because this is the history of black ingenuity in the face of segregation. Once again, before we dive into Victor Hugo Green's life, the reality of traveling while black under Jim Crow, and how the Green Book protected millions of families, make sure you're subscribed. This is the story of turning knowledge into power and community into protection. Imagine planning a road trip across America, packing your bags, mapping your route, and setting out with excitement. Now, imagine that same journey, but with constant underlying fear. Where can you safely eat? Where can you sleep? Which towns should you avoid altogether? For many black Americans during the early to mid 20th century, this wasn't hypothetical. It was reality. In a nation that celebrated freedom and mobility, black travelers faced a different truth shaped by segregation, discrimination, and danger. Yet, out of this reality emerged one of the most important yet often overlooked tools of survival in American history, the Green Book. At the center of this story is Victor Hugo Green, a Harlem-based postal worker who turned a simple idea into a powerful guide that protected and empowered millions of black travelers. This is the story of the man, the movement, and the publication that reshaped travel for black Americans. Victor Hugo Green was born in 1892 in New York City. Growing up in segregated America, he grew up in a time when racial segregation wasn't just a Southern phenomenon. It existed nationwide in both subtle and overt forms. Like many black Americans of his era, Green sought stability and opportunity in a system that often worked against him. He found steady employment as a postal worker, a respected position within the black community. Postal workers were uniquely positioned. They had extensive knowledge of neighborhoods. They knew which businesses were safe, and they had networks across the country. This exposure would later prove critical in Green's work. Green lived in Harlem, a thriving center of black culture, particularly during the Harlem Renaissance. Yet, even in this vibrant community, the realities of segregation loomed large. Green, like many others, experienced the frustrations and the dangers of navigating a country where black people were not welcomed in many spaces. He lived it, so he understood the need. Now, if you're understanding that Victor Hugo Green was a postal worker with the knowledge of neighborhoods and networks across the country, stay with me, because what comes next shows the dangerous realities black travelers faced under Jim Crow. To understand why the Green Book was necessary, you have to understand the landscape of America during Jim Crow. From the late 1800s through the mid-1900s, laws and social customs enforced racial segregation. Black Americans were denied equal access to restaurants, hotels, gas stations, and even restrooms. In many places, signs openly declared, whites only. But beyond inconvenience, there was a real danger. Black travelers risked harassment, arrest, violence, or even worse, simply for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Some towns, known as sundown towns, were especially hostile. Black people were expected to leave by nightfall or face severe consequences. Traveling by car, which became more common in the early 20th century, introduced new risk. While it offered freedom, it also meant venturing into unfamiliar and potentially hostile territory. There were no guarantees of safety, food, or shelter. This was the problem Victor Hugo Green, set out to solve. In 1936, Victor Hugo Green published the first edition of the Negro Motorist Green Book. It was a modest guide focused primarily on the New York City area. Green's idea was simple, but revolutionary. Create a directory of businesses that welcomed Black customers. The Green Book included hotels, restaurants, barbershops, beauty salons, gas stations, and private homes willing to offer lodging to Black Americans. The early editions were small, but the concept quickly gained traction. Green relied heavily on a network of contributors, many of them postal workers like himself, who sent in information about safe and welcoming locations across the country. The guide was updated annually and expanded rapidly. By the 1940s and the 1950s, it covered much of the United States and even included international destinations like Canada, Mexico, and parts of the Caribbean. I see you tracking how Victor Hugo Green turned his postal worker knowledge into a nationwide network of safe businesses. So stay with me, because what comes next shows what the Green Book meant beyond just travel. The Green Book was more than a directory. It was a lifeline. For Black families, it offered peace of mind in a hostile world. It allowed them to travel with greater confidence, knowing there were safe places along the way. It turned uncertainty into planning and fear into possibility. The book also served as a form of resistance. At a time when systemic racism sought to limit Black movement and opportunity, the Green Book empowered Black Americans to claim their right to travel. Green himself understood the broader significance of his work. In later editions, he wrote about his hope for a future where the guide would no longer be necessary, a future where Black Americans could travel freely without fear or restriction. The Green Book also highlights an important aspect of Black history, the strength and resilience of Black entrepreneurship. Many of the businesses listed in the Green Book were Black owned. These establishments didn't just provide services, they created safe spaces for the Black community. Hotels, restaurants, and clubs became hubs of culture and connection. They supported traveling musicians, entertainers, and families. In many cases, they were among the few places where Black people could experience dignity and respect while traveling. The guide helped direct economic support towards these businesses, strengthening Black communities across the country. As automobile ownership increased, so did the popularity of the Green Book. By the 1950s, it had become an essential item for Black travelers. It was sold at gas stations, particularly those owned by or friendly to Black customers, and through mail order subscriptions. Oil companies even partnered in its distribution, recognizing its widespread use. This was a rare instance where corporate America indirectly supported the tool created to navigate around systemic discrimination. The Green Book's reach extended beyond America. It included listings in places where Black Americans might find more acceptance offering alternatives to the rigid segregation at home. As you're connecting how the Green Book became essential for Black travelers and even got corporate support, stay with me, because what comes next shows the harsh reality the guide could not fully eliminate. While the Green Book offered solutions, it also underscored a harsh reality. Black Americans needed such a guide because the country was deeply segregated and often dangerous. Stories from this era reveal just how critical this guide was. Families would pack food to avoid stopping at restaurants that might refuse them services. Travelers would sometimes sleep in their cars when lodging wasn't available. And encounters with law enforcement could, hear me now, be particularly dangerous. Even something simple as asking for directions could escalate into a life-threatening situation. The Green Book didn't eliminate these risks, but it did help to reduce them. Victor Hugo Green passed away in 1960, just a few years before the Civil Rights Movement achieved major legislative victories. He did not live to see the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed segregation in public accommodations. However, his work laid important groundwork by highlighting the inequalities Black Americans faced and providing a practical means of navigating them. Green's vision was always forward-looking. He believed in a future where equality would make his guide obsolete. In many ways, that vision was realized, but not without a struggle. The Green Book continued publication until 1966. After the Civil Rights Act, the legal barriers that had made the guide necessary began to fall. With desegregation, Black travelers gained greater access to hotels, restaurants, and public facilities. The need for a separate guide diminished, and the Green Book faded out of publication. However, its legacy did not disappear. For many years, the Green Book was largely forgotten outside of academic and historical circles. But in recent decades, interest in the guide has grown significantly. Historians, filmmakers, educators, and videos like this one have revisited its importance, recognizing it is a powerful symbol of both oppression and resilience. The Green Book offers a unique lens into American history. It documents not just where Black travelers could go, but also where they could not and why. It also serves as a reminder of how recent this history is. The era of the Green Book is not ancient. It exists within living memory. The story of Victor Hugo Green and the Green Book raises important questions about access, safety, and equality. While legal segregation has ended, disparities in treatment and opportunities still exist in various forms. The Green Book challenges us to consider how systems can exclude and how communities can respond. It also highlights a powerful collective effort. The guide was built through contributions from everyday people who shared information to help one another. In that sense, the Green Book was more than a publication. It was a community-driven solution to a systemic problem. Victor Hugo Green started with a simple idea: create a guide to help Black travelers navigate a segregated America. What he built became something greater. The Green Book was a tool of survival, a symbol of resistance, and a testament to the resilience of Black Americans. It turned knowledge into power and community into protection. Today, it stands as a powerful reminder of a not-so-distant past and a call to continue striving towards a more equitable future. As Green himself once expressed, the ultimate goal was for the guide to no longer be needed. That aspiration still resonates today, because the story of the Green Book isn't just about where people could go. It's about the freedom to go anywhere. Victor Hugo Green published the first Green Book in 1936. It listed safe hotels, restaurants, and gas stations for Black travelers in a segregated America. By the 1950s, it was essential. Families carried it on every road trip. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 made it obsolete by 1966. But remember, that wasn't ancient history. That was just 2 generations ago. That's not just a travel guide. That's survival literature. If this video showed you how Victor Hugo Green turned a postal worker's knowledge into a lifeline for millions of Black travelers, I need you to do 4 things for me right now. First, subscribe and hit the notification bell. This is the history of Black ingenuity in the face of segregation, and you need to see every video we release. Second, like this video and share it with your family, your friends, your church, and your community. People need to understand that the Green Book era exists within living memory. Third, leave a comment and answer these questions so others can learn. 1. How does knowing that Black families needed a guidebook just to travel safely change how you see the 1940s and the 1950s? 2. What does it mean that the Green Book was community-driven, built by postal workers and everyday people sharing information? 3. How do we teach the next generation about the ingenuity required to survive segregation? 4th, explore the sources and books on this topic in our complete Black History Library at the link in the description and in the pinned comments below. Victor Hugo Green created the Green Book in 1936. Black families carried it on the road trips to know where they could safely eat, sleep, and even use the restroom. It wasn't obsolete until 1966. That's within living memory. Subscribe, share, and speak the truth. I'll see you at the next video.